stop the sun from shining.
Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me today for the Savvy Sagittarius 2022 horoscope. Well, things are looking more positive this year. Yay, thankfully. We're turning a corner, I'm so glad to say. It's been very difficult through 2020 and 2021, as you no doubt already appreciate. However, things are really changing. We've got some positive influences happening. And although they are, it's still not 100% a walk in the park, okay? Still a bit uphill and down dale. We have Uranus and Saturn making a tense square. That continues this year. And there'll be two hits, or almost two hits. So I will talk about this shortly in depth. The other thing, we have 4 eclipses, okay? That's not unusual. We have Mercury going retrograde 4 times as well. The other big thing is that your ruler Jupiter, the planet of abundance and good luck, is actually changing signs and changing houses. This is really going to impact upon you in a positive way, dear Sag. And also the US is experiencing a thing called its Pluto return that happens every 248 years. We'll find there's sort of a continuation of social restlessness. There's sort of these themes of power over, control, manipulation, addiction, compulsion. These things are still happening. And on the 21st of February or thereabouts, it comes to a peak. There's several hits this year in 2022, and this influence lasts to 2024, so it's not going to be just over in February. It's going to continue. Pluto also rules the life, death and rebirth cycle, and in a very real way, we've all been going through the death cycle, the death part of the cycle since 2020, and you've just got to look at the COVID numbers increasing and go to your government statistics section and look up a thing called excess deaths, because that gives you something that's closer to the truth rather than the figures they just put out, and you'll see where there's been more deaths, and that can be COVID related. Maybe it's COVID itself, or maybe it's the fact that people can't get into the hospitals because they're already full. So, you know, there's issues like this. But the death has been happening. Now, what we're going to see in 2022 is the first beginnings of new hope, because the rebirth cycle is going to start between 2022 and 2024. So that's going to give us a lot more hope for the future, and it's almost like society being reborn. So this is really good news, okay? But yeah, a bit uphill and down dale. We also have some beautiful influences like Neptune sextiling Venus, which is all about care and compassion, which has been in short supply lately. Some other things happening, the 4 eclipses, Mercury retrograde, you know, that always happens. So that happens 4 times this year. And to start the year, your South Node is conjuncting your ascendant, so that's very karmic. I will talk about these in depth when I come to your horoscope. But firstly, I'll just let you know I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the year for you. We'll have a look at your horoscope in depth, and then I'll do a psychic channeling at the end, so stick around to that. And if you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, let's go to the board and see what the cards have to say to kick all of this off. Savvy Sagittarius. All right, the first card, let's have a look. There, I'll go in that one in the middle. All right, closing my eyes now for you. What do I see? I see a white car, or a light coloured car, and it's not going very fast, but it is making progress. Okay, so these are like this is like the way you get around in the world. Your car could be your body. Things are okay, but it just seems old and worn out. So you might need to renew something about your body, change your health plan, change your diet, change your exercise regime. There is a lot happening here to do with your health. I'll talk about shortly. The card that comes up is the Death card. Okay, this does not mean that you're going to die. This means it's the beginning of a new cycle. You're finally going to say goodbye to something that has probably been bothering you for a long time. Okay, it's very simple. Death means a new beginning on a higher plane. And so it could be that you raise your vibration. For example, one way to do that is to avoid anything and everything that has corn syrup in it. Corn syrup's not very popular in Australia, even though we do have corn here. People grow corn, farmers, but it's not a big thing in our food here the way it is in the US. And so, yes, you might consider giving up anything that has corn syrup. I would even go one step further and write to the company and say I'm not happy about palm oil or corn syrup in the products I was buying. Okay, you might think about that. Second card. Okay, I'm actually really excited about this. I just feel like that while I'm talking, I feel all these little sort of bubbles. It's sort of like a champagne kind of feeling associated with this. And I know that sounds probably a bit strange, but a new beginning. Okay, so that's the second sort of hit we've had for the theme of new beginning. Okay, now perhaps the second half of the year, if you want to think in terms of time for savvy Sagittarius, I see musicians. I don't know what this means. It's like I'm back in the 1600s, 1500s, and there's 7 or 8 musicians here. They do have all different types of weird horns and musical instruments that I've never seen before, and there's some European connection. This could be France or some European country. I have no idea what this means, other than to say music is usually the music of your life. Okay, you compose your life, you play your life. It's like you're the musical instrument and you're being played and you're playing yourself. The card that comes up is the Ace of Wands. This is a new beginning. There's that theme again, and Spirit is handing it to you. You're going to be very motivated and very inspired this year to take on a new project or change your life direction in a new way. Yes, there are some challenges here. Look at this mountain in the background. A mountain always means a challenge. But Spirit is handing you the ability to be able to deal with that and take action. Okay, so baseball bat's all about taking action. There's green leaves here, which means growth and opportunity, and a crown, which has little tiny green buds on it, which you may not be able to see because it's so small. But this is exciting. So this is about, a crown is about your crown chakra opening up and receiving the energy direct from Spirit. So I feel very excited about that for you. Okay, so now bear those 2 cards in mind because they're your theme cards. I'll just make this a bit bigger so you can see perhaps. Okay, so Ace of Wands and the Death card. Not that you'll forget that in a hurry. But it's very, it's going to turn out very beneficial, that you have to let go of something so that you can start again. All right. So the main points, we've got the North Node here on your descendant, and we've got on this nodal axis the South Node here coming into your sign soon. This is how you're beginning the year, and it's very exciting because it's indicating that you're going to receive some karmic rewards this year. Yes, other people could help you with that, or you might find with the crown chakra opening up that Spirit just opens up part of your life to a new world. These gifts have always been with you, but maybe you haven't been able to access them, for example. Okay, so spiritual rewards coming through, but also other people may become significant partners in your life, either in business or personally. If you're in a casual relationship, it may go deeper. If you're already in a relationship, it may also go deeper or be rejuvenated in some way. But the relationship with a significant other is very important. Also can be legalities as well, and it can be people that you don't get on with, but there's some sort of transformation that happens there. So there's rewards coming to you. That's the main point. 4 eclipses, 2 solar, 2 lunar in your 12th and 6th house. I'll talk about your ruler Jupiter here in your 4th house of home and family is moving into your 5th house of creativity and the world of the child, and at some point it's going to be conjunct Chiron, and this is going to bring a healing to your romantic life, your love life, to your inner child, or if you're dealing with children in the external world, there's some sort of healing and expansion there. I want to say childcare centres. I don't know what that's about. That's for an individual that's listening. And I don't know what that means. A healing concerning childcare centres. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, because I don't. Saturn is squaring Uranus too. I'll talk about that. All right, so Indepth up until the 31st of January, and then again from the 5th of August to the 7th of December, Pluto conjuncts Pluto. This is important because it brings up your instincts, okay? This is about learning to listen to your instincts. We've all got them. Instincts are sort of shortcut method that different species, animals used to use before they could actually think logically. Yes, they can think, certain animals can think logically to a certain extent, but before logic comes instinct, and this is like your initial gut reaction if you're listening to your body. Before you think about a situation, we've still got that ability, and so your instinctual energies will be activated. If you're working on the level of instincts and you want to sort of develop that part of yourself, it's good to get a cat because they are very instinctual. If you get a wild type cat like a Bengal or a cat that's sort of descended from wild cats, that might even be more the better as far as developing your instincts, okay? You may not necessarily understand why you're doing things instinctually, but that's okay. You don't need to, as long as you're not dealing with money. You better think logically about money. And then we have Neptune conjuncting Neptune up until the 8th of February. Your imagination is very vivid and you're probably more in touch with your spiritual life at the moment. You'll probably only pick this up if you're sort of sensitive and perceptive. And if you're not, you won't probably notice it. Up until the 10th of January, Saturn conjuncts Saturn, and you could be reviewing your life. It's amazing at the beginning of the year, we often do review our lives, and, we might make a New Year's resolution, for example. Most of those don't work out, but we do go through some sort of analysis of looking back over the year and trying to formulate a plan or an idea for the next year. What we can do to improve it, so you'll be questioning yourself about decisions that you made, and that's okay. Up to the 6th of January, Jupiter conjuncts Jupiter. This is important for you because Jupiter is your ruling planet. It's the beginning of a new cycle. It's when you formulate your plans and ideas that will extend over this coming year, and your ambitions and ideals slowly and gradually shift towards a new focus. It's a period of rebirth and renewed optimism. Now, there it is again, that theme of rebirth, okay? So now we've had a number of times since I've started this reading where the rebirth theme has come up. It's particularly important. 5th of January to the 23rd of January, Saturn sextiles Mars, bringing cooperation and harmony with co-workers. If you're in any sort of team, organisation or a group, it's likely you'll be successful working together. Then we have up to the 4th of March, Uranus trines your MC, bringing exciting developments in your career and general life direction. And it's a very positive time for you. You could have a jolt of enthusiasm and vitality. Your spirits pick up and you're generally excited about the work that you're doing. And if you're not working, it's to do with the direction your life is taking. There's more creative outlets. There's more interesting and varied work. And even if you're not working, what you do in your daily life becomes more interesting. From the 22nd of January to the 4th of February, Venus trines Uranus, bringing unexpected pleasures, new friends. You feel more playful. You have a lot of energy for play here in your 5th house as well. You're likely to be more spontaneous, and life is more stimulating. It's like there's a refreshing change of pace. There could be a new romance or a revitalisation of an existing relationship. 23rd of January to the 3rd of February, Venus trines your MC. This is lovely because it's like you're dealing with other people and there's some sort of sympathy and compassionate bond between you. And it could help you in your career or with your reputation or public image. It's a great time to socialise with new people, and especially those ones that you work with or you've got some sort of professional tie with. And they'll help you in the future. There's also the energy of beautifying the place where you work, or if you have any sort of dealings with the public. And there's also some sort of increased concern about your physical appearance. You may want to improve your dress or something like that, or your hair or something, because Venus likes things beautiful. So it's like you're going to bring this beauty into your life. 22nd of February to the 3rd of March, Jupiter squares Mars. You're more likely to be bold, daring and enterprising. If you do perchance feel like you've been restricted or limited in some way, there's an opportunity to step past that and enlarge your horizons. You can break free and accomplish more. Now you may seek a new job or a new place to live. There's more opportunities that you can avail yourself of. If you're in business, you might start with a new product or take up some sort of new advertising or new opportunity in business. 5th of February to the 1st of April, Uranus squares Saturn. Okay, Saturn and Uranus here. Okay, now what happens is later in the year, on the 4th of October, it nearly makes a square again, but not quite. It's like 37 minutes or something out of a square. So it's not quite a square, but certainly within an orb. So this is quite a difficult time period, as we all know, because we've been living with it. Things just don't go the way you planned. You have ideas, you work towards something, and then it goes belly up. They run their own course regardless of what you want to do. There could be disturbances, annoyances and interruptions that makes it very difficult for you to stick to your knitting, what you had planned, what you wanted to do. Okay, but as I said, we are sort of getting used to this now. 19th of February to the 14th of April, and again 15th of September to the 14th of February 2023, Neptune sextile Venus. This is such a boon, such a saviour for the year, because it brings more compassion, sympathy and concern for other people. It's like our hearts can reach out to other people more readily, and we can offer assistance and they can offer us assistance, so it goes both ways. If you are having difficulties with someone, there might be some sort of barrier between you, and that can be broken down. The limitations can be resolved. Okay, so there's a healing that goes on there. 30th of April or the 1st of May, if you're in Australia or New Zealand, brings a solar eclipse in your 6th house of everyday work, habits, health and well-being. You may temporarily put your feelings on hold because of some responsibilities that you need to attend to. But some of those responsibilities may relate to something new, so there's some sort of excitement with it as well. There's new beginnings around your everyday work, or perhaps you feel more vital and energetic. Your health could improve in some way. Your everyday energy is amplified. Maybe you go for a walk every morning and you feel better or something like that. 5th of May to the 15th of May, and again 17th of October to the 12th of November, Jupiter trines your ascendant. This is fantastic for you, Jupiter being your ruling planet. It's a very positive time. You have more confidence. People openly respect you, and they admire you. You can promote your ideas and plans that you believe strongly in, and other people help you. They accept your proposals and ideas and even offer support. 15th of May to the 11th of August, Neptune sextiles Pluto, bringing tremendous psychological and inner growth. Now, this is spiritually speaking, and it will take some time to filter down into your physical world, but this is the starting place in spirit. There's a lot of old negative energy that is released, and it's a real healing that happens. 10th of May to the 27th of October, and then again from the 20th of December to the 16th of May 2023, Jupiter goes here into the 5th house. Okay, so really important for your creativity, the world of the child, leisure, pleasure, having fun. That's what you're going to be doing. There's more fun on the agenda this year for you, Sagittarius. And particularly a healing is involved, where perhaps something to do with your inner child, something happened when you were younger and your inner child was hurt in some way, and so couldn't really express herself or himself fully. Okay, so this healing is going to help you out so much. So it's a very exciting time as Jupiter does this little dance between home and family and your creativity, your romantic life, and the world of the child. Okay, so that's beautiful. 15th of May, there's a lunar eclipse in your 12th house of spirituality here. I also call it the house of the goddess, or the house of the subconscious. You need some privacy and solitude. There's transformation because a lot of subconscious energy comes to the surface for healing and release. 25th of October, there's a solar eclipse in Scorpio, also in your 12th house, bringing new beginnings to your spiritual life. You might find also that your intuition, your psychic ability improves, okay, because there's some new beginning that's starting here. 8th of November, there's a lunar eclipse in Taurus in your 6th house of everyday work, health and habits, everyday routine, some sort of transformation in your normal everyday life. It may only be a small thing, but it changes what you do on a regular basis. Okay, these deep energies arise up and they come up to the surface of your mind for enlightenment and insight. So there's a spark of light to a situation, and then all of a sudden you'll have the answer, or you'll understand what's happened and why. Okay, so that's your horoscope, which is looking very exciting. Now I'm just going to close my eyes and see what else I can see for you, Sagittarius in 2022. Okay, well, I've got an artist here with it's a painting, and it's a male artist, and he's painting this in bright colours. Actually, it's a bit like what's behind me, in fact, the colours. And this is about you composing your picture, composing your life and painting your life, okay? And sometimes you have to put dark bits in so that you can see the other colours more brilliantly. It's almost like the darker it is in some areas, the brighter it is in other areas. It's like there's a balance, okay? That's what's happening. There's a balance between contrasts of colour, light and dark, all these different shades. And so this is about your creativity also coming out more and more. So I do feel excited for you, and particularly if there's music, I can see again musical instruments. Okay, so if you find that you've given up music, or playing or singing for some reason, you could go back to it this year because your creativity is on fire. Okay, I get a sense of religion here, like back a couple of hundred years ago, organised religion. And there's like he's not a priest, he's more like a bishop actually, or somebody in a sort of a position of authority. And I don't really know what this means, but perhaps there's some sort of healing here. The church might have had a lot of control over your family at some point, and so these traditions or belief systems have been handed down generation to generation. You might ask yourself, particularly at the beginning of the year, are these rules and regulations that have been handed down, are they suitable to you now? Is this what you want your life to be in 2022? It's up to you. Now, somebody's also holding me a card, a tarot card, and they're saying it's in the cards. So maybe you might take up reading cards. That might give you some insight. There's hundreds, maybe thousands of different decks. And you just have to find the one that suits you so that you can get some message. They're showing me, it's a card, but it's got a picture of an ear on it, which means it's about hearing, okay? Some of you may well be clairaudient. You hear voices, and so spirit can actually talk to you. So that's a really good thing. One of the things about that is, though, you have to be very quiet in order to hear. If you've got rock music, heavy metal or something playing in the background is going to be hard to hear. So yes, periods of time in solitude and quietness can help you out a lot this year. Who's putting on weight because the zipper doesn't go up anymore? It's like a pair of jeans that can't get the zip up. So yeah, you may look at that and decide again that you want to improve your health and change your diet. As I said, corn syrup, I was talking about that before, but also carbs. If you can really minimize the carbs, don't get rid of them completely. I went on a diet a long time ago, and it was like 30 grams of carb a day. After about 5 months, my hair started falling out. So if you're a woman, maybe 50, 60 grams might be better. I think the average woman in Australia has about 140. So you could have half the carbs that you're having now, and that would be better for your health, and your hair shouldn't fall out at that rate. Okay, anything else? There's a big pair of like industrial, they're not scissors, but they secateurs is what they are. They're secateurs, and so chopping things out. You're chopping things out to make space for other things to come forward this year in 2022. Okay, so that's it, Savvy Sagittarius. I hope this is helpful for you. Have a beautiful and wonderful year. I know you will. I would appreciate your likes and shares and your comments. Thank you so much for listening to me this year. I really appreciate that, and all the support I receive on not only YouTube but Facebook as well. Okay, if you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that notification bell right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you all again soon. Okay, bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.